All right, so on this channel, I tell you guys that you guys should learn sales. You guys should learn a skill that pays you. So this video is going to be for those of you who maybe have a sales job, maybe want to get into sales. Maybe you have your own business and you need to sell more. Maybe you want to sell people on your ideas on YouTube. Maybe you want a new girlfriend and you want to sell her on the reason why you are the right candidate for her. Maybe you want a new job and you want to sell yourself to the company on why you are the right fit for the company, for a promotion, whatever it is. Sales is all around us. Sales is everywhere. So the message I got for you guys today is persistence wears resistance. All right, I'm going to talk to you guys about persistence, how it wears down resistance, and I'm going to talk about how the amateur and the pro are separated because there's big differences, okay? So, let's get right into it. Persistence wears resistance. If you want to become a pro at selling, if you want to become a master at this thing called sales, first of all, you have to become a master communicator. You have to understand how to communicate your thoughts effectively so that you can get your point across to where you have a concept in your head and maybe the other person does not have the same concept in their head. But by you formulating thoughts and words and putting those words into sentences into a way that is very easy for the other person to look at those words that came out of your mouth, and it downloads whatever idea you had into their brain. But here's the thing. When you start out in sales, you're going to learn that you're going to have to start overcoming objections. Why? Because people have this thing called sales resistance. What is sales resistance? Everyone has it. Everyone has sales resistance. It's like when they hit your knee, the hammer, the knee jerk reaction. When the doctor hits your knee with the hammer, what happens? Your knee kicks out, right? Because it's just a reaction that your body has. Same thing goes with sales resistance. Because if people were not going to build up this wall to protect themselves, they would go financially broke. They would be poor. Why? Because they turn on the radio, someone's trying to sell them. They turn on the TV, there's a commercial. They go on YouTube, there's an ad. There's someone at the mall. Hey, buddy, I like your shoes. I like those shoes. Come over here. I got a little thing to whiten them. Everywhere they go, someone's trying to sell them something. So naturally, what do people do? We all do it. We build up this thing called sales resistance, meaning when someone tries to sell you something, first thing you say, no, I'm okay. No. So here's the thing about if you want to get good at sales, if you want to master it, if you're just starting out, the difference between the pro and the loser or the amateur, the person who's not going to succeed at it, what is it? The person who's just starting out, who sucks at it, who's not very good, what happens? They hear no? Okay, bye. Sounds good. That's it. That is called an order taker. An order taker is someone who waits around for people to say yes, tell them what they want. That's what they do at McDonald's. I want some fries. Okay, let me write that down. I want a Big Mac. Okay, cool. They're not convincing them on anything. They're not persuading them on anything. They're not selling them on any ideas. See, someone who gets good at sales, someone who masters sales, when they hear no, all they hear is this. When I hear a no, all I'm hearing is, you don't understand what I'm trying to tell you. You don't understand the amazing offer that I'm presenting to you at this very moment. So what does that mean? That means I haven't done my job effectively. That means if you tell me no, I have to figure out how can I reword my words? How can I twist these words around so that you can understand better what it is I'm trying to tell you so that you can see the value in my offer? See, because naturally people are going to build up this sales resistance is what it's called to keep themselves from going broke. Why? Because until they see the value in what it is you're offering, they're not going to understand. If I came up to you right now and I said, hey, buddy, I got a Ferrari for you right now, what would you say? You say no, right? You say, no, I can't afford that. That's too much. But you haven't even heard the offer. See, if I were to say no, if I offered you a Ferrari, you said no, and I suck at sales, I'd say, okay, sorry, back off. See, the pro, what does the pro do? Okay, this guy does not understand that I have an amazing offer for him. Let's get past the objection of the no, of the price objection, so that they can finally hear the offer. Because if I told you, I'm going to sell you a Ferrari, and you immediately, your sales resistance, your wall that's built up to keep you from going broke and going poor, tells you, stop, say no. That's the natural reaction, right? But what if you listened to what I had to tell you and I told you, actually, the Ferrari is just 500 bucks, brand new, zero problems, one owner, no problems at all. The car is brand new. What would you say? You'd find a way to get the 500 bucks even if you didn't have them. Why? Because you'd understand that that offer is a steal. You would say that offer is amazing. That's an amazing deal. And you'd find a way to get the money, right? So that's what separates the pro and the person who is an amateur. But how do you get to that point? You have to be able to push past the objections. You have to be able to push past their sales resistance and speak your words into a way to where the offer makes sense for them to say yes. But you can't get to that point if you just give up after the first no. You have to be persistent. Persistently, what's the word? Persistently, pleasantly, persistently persuasive, right? Pleasantly, persistently persuasive. Meaning, if someone says no, you don't get mad, you don't get irate, you don't quit. You continue being persistent. You stay in the moment, you stay persistent, you stay pleasant, you stay composed, you stay poised, and you continue to speak your offer in a way to where they start to understand it. Because let me tell you this, if you quit after the first time, you're going to be an order taker. You're not cut out for sales. But if you remain persistent, let me show you an example, right? If you have a rock and you are dripping some water on it, if you just drip one drop on that rock, will the rock have, what do they call it, erosion? Will it have the little hole in it? No. But what happens when you put a drop and another drop and another drop? And maybe you left it there for a year of just straight drops and drops and drops and drops. The persistent action, the action of persistence from that drop, what is it going to do? It's going to wear down that rock. It's going to make a hole. But it would not have done that if it wouldn't have stayed persistent. So if you want to become a true closer, because there's a difference between selling and closing. If you want to close deals, you have to remain persistent. Like, you have to keep pushing past. You have to see these objections and obstacles as hurdles. Can an Olympic runner, can he get over the hurdles, or is he stuck just because there's hurdles in the way? No, he practices how to jump over those hurdles to get to the end, to get to the finish line. He doesn't say there's hurdles in my way, so I quit. That's it. No, he says, how can I get over these hurdles? So if you want to be good at sales, if you want to get better at sales, if you want to learn and master the art of selling, what do you have to do? Understand there's going to be objections. There's going to be sales resistance. But it's up to you to persist, to remain persuasive, to remain pleasant. Someone that can truly learn how to speak things to where the other person can clearly understand. Understand this. I've gotten sales when people have told me no several times, but it's not until I explained it in a matter that they can fully understand the offer that I am telling them until they said yes. And then they say yes. Why? Why is that? Because like I told you, if I told you, hey, I'm selling you a Ferrari right now, what would you say? Your instant reaction would be, no, I don't have the money for that. But you didn't even hear what I had to say. So if I would have quit on trying to sell you that Ferrari, guess what? You would have missed out on a deal and I would have missed out on a deal. But if I say, listen, you got to listen to what I'm telling you. The reason why you need this in your life is because the Ferrari is $500. You would go out there, you would do whatever it takes to get those $500, right? Because you wouldn't want the next person coming up on that steal of a deal. So remain persistent, remain present. Listen to what people tell you, whether it's in person, whether it's door to door, whether it's on sales calls, whatever it is. Listen to what the person has to tell you, because an objection does not mean that they don't want whatever it is you have. An objection just means they're lacking information in the area that they are specifically objecting in, right? So if they're objecting, listen to the objection. Understand they just need more information in that area. If someone says, I don't have enough money, that's the objection. The objection is money. Now you have to understand how to frame your offer in a way to where it makes sense for them, it makes sense for you. And it has something to do with money, right? So in order to overcome that objection, you have to tackle that first. So what separates the pro and what separates the amateur is the amateur is too pushy. It's not pleasantly, persistently persuasive, right? It's like pushy, and no one likes to be sold. So the difference between the pro and the amateur is the amateur, it feels too unnatural. It feels like they're trying to sell you something. A pro, a master closer, someone who is a master communicator, the reason why they can get you to buy so easily is why? Because it almost feels like it's your decision. The whole time they're selling you on their idea. They're selling you on this idea. They're selling you on you to take action. And guess what? Whole time you thought you were making the decision, but they had already made the decision for you. The thing is, they did it in a way to where you didn't even see it coming. You didn't even see it coming. And they said the words in a way that was so easy to understand, easy to digest, and an offer that made so much sense that you could not say no. That's the difference. That's the difference between a pro and an amateur. All right, guys? So I hope you learned from something from this video. And if you like the sales content, let me know. I'll drop more. I love this shit. I could talk about this all day. All right? Like the video, comment down below, and subscribe. Peace out.